From ABC News, World News Sunday, here's Forrest Sawyer.
Good evening. Now the campaign for the Democratic presidential nomination is down to just 3 candidates. Senator Tom Harkin is announcing his withdrawal from the race tomorrow. Harkin campaigned as an old-time liberal, but found few people drawn to the message. In all but 3 state contests, he finished far behind the frontrunners. ABC's Cokie Roberts has more.
I'm Tom Harkin, and I'm running for president.
The Iowa senator got into the race as a prairie populist with strong labor union backing, claiming for himself the title of the one true Democrat of 1992.
And I'll make this party win again in this country.
His opponent ceded the first contest in his home state of Iowa to Harkin, but battled hard in New Hampshire, where high unemployment rates might have made his liberal message saleable. Harkin's weak 4th place showing there effectively knocked him out of the running, though he managed to hold on long enough to see victories in Minnesota and Idaho. He needed more than that to keep the campaign contributions coming.
He said that old-time Democratic religion, but it sounded to many voters kind of antique and out of date.
Up-to-date Democrats are choosing more moderate candidates this year. And when voters see Washington as the enemy, it didn't help Tom Harkin to have U.S. Senator in front of his name. Cokie Roberts, ABC News, Washington.
Clinton's chief rival, Paul Tsongas, has his work cut out for him Super Tuesday, trying to do well on Clinton's home turf, the South. Today, Tsongas was in Nashville, and ABC's Judy Muller was with him.
Tsongas attended a service at a predominantly black church in Nashville this morning. He picked up the endorsement of the pastor, who said he had been impressed with Tsongas after seeing him on television.
I saw someone who was tough but tender.
And as Tsongas helped the children collect their offerings, he picked up another endorsement.
What do you say, young man?
He looks like the president.
He looks like the president, he said. You hear that?
Tsongas touched a chord with the congregation when he talked about how his battle with cancer had taught him to have purpose in his life.
If we are aspiritual, if God's not part of us, what are we? We live, we eat, we breathe, we die, gone.
For a candidate who concedes he got off to a slow start in the South, Tsongas feels he is finally getting into the swing of things. But speaking on This Week with David Brinkley, he also conceded that his conservative fiscal message is out of sync with his own party.
I'm the agent of change. I'm trying to bring in new economics to the Democratic Party. And the fact is, it's really the machine against the message.
Tsongas says his message is getting through in the South, pointing to a number of newspaper endorsements, including the Tennessean. That may not mean much. He also won newspaper endorsements in Georgia, where Clinton won the vote. Judy Muller, ABC News, Nashville.
As for the Republicans, advisors to President Bush had been hoping they could deliver a knockout punch to Pat Buchanan in the early primaries. But Buchanan has now made it clear no amount of punching will take him out of the race. He believes his underdog challenge is setting the tone of the campaign. ABC's Ann Compton has more.
48 hours before Super Tuesday, President Bush left the campaign trail for the seclusion of Camp David, saying he feels confident because he has campaigned with dignity. But all week he was dogged by indignant complaints about flip-flopping, especially when he stopped defending his broken Read My Lips pledge.
Yes, a mistake.
Challenger Patrick Buchanan declared today he now controls the election year agenda and said that counts more than convention delegates.
Said I can lose 50 primaries or caucuses to George Bush, but we are winning this national debate and bringing him in our direction, and we're going to fight for the heart and soul of the party at that convention.
Strategists within the GOP agree the Buchanan challenge has robbed the Bush campaign of its effectiveness.
When the campaign was formed, they were on the battlefield. They had to load up guns and start shooting. And there was not a lot of time to sit down and put in place big strategy because you're going to die if you spend too long strategizing.
Damage control, Republicans say, must start next week.
They're going to stop this campaigning, this flopping around the country, charging from one spot to the next with nothing to say. And they're going back to being what he ought to be, and that is to be the president. That's his single greatest asset.
The strategists say there's a danger in this scenario, too. The voters, they say, don't want the status quo. They're looking for change. In fact, they're demanding it. Ann Compton, ABC News, the White House.
There is some voting today.